All right, welcome back to Dankscore Traders Hub. Yes, good afternoon, Desmond. How are you? And the rest of the guys will be coming to check this live stream later. You are welcome to this channel, Dankscore Traders Hub. Yeah. Now, of course, you know, with BTC we don't normally waste time, so let's get into it and look at what happened ever since Tuesday. So on Tuesday we saw excuse me. All right, so on Tuesday we saw this. Let's start from actually daily time frame. So this is what we realized on Tuesday. Yeah, of course that high it had not finished creating the high, so this will eventually have to push it all the way here for now, so that we can be clear of it if that's where it is going to be. Yeah, so we can just have it there. So on Tuesday we were looking at price. Let's see, this was Tuesday here. So on Tuesday we knew this was going to, we were looking at that as a flag, and we're looking for a sell instead of the sell. Oh yes, oh yeah. So it gave us a fake breakout down below and then continued with a buy. And I think this would have been right here, which would have changed everything that we already had. So right here, all this couldn't make sense, so now we can delete it. And now we look at this, we see this, we have a boss, which is a break of structure right there. If you come to a weekly time frame, we've been in an uptrend, so that is a bear general trend. We've been in an uptrend, that is a break of structure. Now we have our all-time high there, and we also have what one can call a double top right there. And down here one can say it was like a sort of a change of character, but it's not a confirmed one. Why? Because it may end up becoming a fake change of character. So that's why you see prices above our 10 MA, meaning buyers are still in control according to weekly time frame. Now if we come back to daily time frame, on the other hand, where we realize that in as much as we got that all-time high, we saw this change of character on daily time frame, same as what we saw on weekly time frame, but this seems to be a fake change of character because price failed to break this support level where we are, that level right there. According to daily time frame, price failed to break it, but instead we saw another change of character, now being a reversal to the uptrend. Now you can see that we saw that kind of change of character because this is our lower low. In fact, that was our lower low, then lower high, then price came here and broke this previous lower high, and now we know price was going up there to give us a higher high. But in that kind of move, trying to give us a higher high, we clearly see that price has now reached a certain level. Yes, we haven't confirmed that as a point there to put our trend line, but so far that's what we have. That's why I'm using it. It can continue with a buy, or it can now reverse and come down for this other trend line down below here, so that's why our anticipation currently is the sales to push us all the way to reach this trend line. Now that is on a daily time frame. Remember, on the daily time frame, if I can take you back, we've been looking for sales we've been overbought, looking for sales. So if we start the sale, then this sale will be confirmed also on the CCI and RSI down below on our indicators. But then remember, we don't normally trade only according to indicators and trend lines. We also use price action. So this high here, if we can go back to to weekly, this is our current higher high. This is just a high which failed to break and give us another higher high. So this is the one that is taken as our current higher high, and if that is our current higher high, then this becomes our current higher low right there. That is our current higher low, and if that's the case, that means this becomes our change of character level, which I've told you already. It may be a fake change of character, or it may later be considered as a change of character when this sale starts. But for now, we can now focus on the lower time frame. So now we've looked at weekly time frame, but also daily time frame. Let's now move to H4 time frame. Now that's where it becomes interesting. So you've already known H1 daily time frame and weekly. They are all showing a momentum of sales to start. I mean, clearly this here, right here on this asset, on this time frame, you clearly see the change of character and the double top right there. That is a double top right here on this weekly, on this H4 time frame. That is a double top up there, and we have a change of character. There is no liquidity left up there, unless for the early sellers, which will be the liquidity pool above here. For those who have already entered and they've put their stop losses up here, that will be the only liquidity left back. So that is one of those that we can anticipate, where price will probably come around here or around here and then push back to grab that liquidity, and then later we get back into the sales that we already want. So if now that's the case, that we've seen now, then we know anytime from now we can easily make some big pullback on the BTC. We can easily, probably before this month ends, or depending on the momentum, remember that, depending on the momentum, before this month ends, we may see price actually push all the way back to 100k. Remember now we are at 116k, but price can eventually go back to as low as 100k, depending on the momentum. But as far as H4 is concerned, we've already seen an established double top on there, but also we've already established a change of character. What is remaining now is to confirm this change of character according to H4. H1, we are already in a downtrend. You can see that was our verified change of character here, not this one. So this is our change of character, and now we see that price has given us a confirmation on H1, which means now the sale right here is on. In fact, if I was to enter, I would enter now here and put my stop loss right about here for this kind of an asset. But I want to just wait a bit and look at M15 to have a clear confirmation. You can see M15 is not ready to give me an entry. Why? Because of this level right here, which is a conference area, and that is an order block right there. and that's why price is sort of not ready to give us an entry on M15. But you see a break of structure, meaning it's coming either here and then gives us a lower low, and then it will give us another pullback up there, like so. Then we can enter a clean sell to push down below, or we can decide to wait for some good time and come in with our buys to push us all the way back up there, which will be a movement according to H4, because this will be the movement that we need on H4 to go all the way up there to confirm the change of character, trying to take the liquidity of the early sellers right there, and then we come in with some long-term sells according to H4 and daily time frame. All right, so now we know H1, we also know M15, and that means we also know M5. Not really, M5 is tricky, so you rather stick to M15, H1 and H4 and the rest of the other time frames. M5 is still a bit risky for you to trade on it. Why? It is already giving you some sort of double bottom here, meaning if M5 price breaks this level, that will be a change of character, giving you the push to go back all the way up here. So for now, no business on this asset till further notice, probably according to M15. I would gladly wait for such a move. You know, BTC is very volatile, so even if you trade from here to there, that will be some good money for you. But then knowing that from that point you can easily get another entry, perfect entry, to push for sales to take you all the way down below, which will be according to H4 and H1, of course. Yeah, all right, I think basically that's it. What I can tell you right now is BTC is looking at a downtrend, and this downtrend, when it starts, when it gets confirmed on H4, it's gonna be some good long-term sell. It's gonna be a downtrend that will take us, will have to push us all the way back to probably 102k. You can see it right here, you can see it right there, 102k, 3k there. Price is likely to get all the way back to that level, either before this month ends, but it's likely to get into the next month. Yeah, in October we are likely to see price get all the way back to this level, and I want to mark that level. Let me see if I can get a price marker. Price marker, insert, indicator objects. I want the one for price, left, right, okay, left. So I'm just gonna put it right there, right there. This will be according to, okay, let me put it where I can see it. So around there, and that will be our price point there, 103k, 103k there. That will be where we will anticipate price to come back to in October. I don't think it will go all the way back to that level in September. The days that are remaining are very few for price to move that much. All right, so for now, no business. Scalpers can wait on M5. Yeah, scalpers can wait on M5, but I believe I will wait to make any entries until M15 probably reaches this confluence area. Then I can try to look for the buy. If it fails to reach here, then I will wait for price to get back up there. Then I can enter this short sell according to H1, and then wait for the buy according to H4 to push back price to look for that liquidity of the early sellers. All right, that's it. Please, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section there. And of course, if you've never subscribed, this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe, and of course give that thumbs up. Remember to like the stream, and of course that helps me a lot in as much as promoting and growing this YouTube channel is concerned. Otherwise, I'm always here, of course, to be together in the charts and analyze. Of course, those who trade other assets like the synthetic indices that we trade here, we already had the session early morning, and we looked at crash 500. This was the analysis, crash 500, boom 1000, yeah, boom 500. Okay, so boom 500 has now started to do what we wanted, so I believe anytime from now we'll get some entries on boom 500. Yeah, we've already seen V25s. Yeah, we've seen of course V75. Yeah, there's gonna be a buy here very soon, hopefully. Not really, a buy is not there. We are likely to continue with sales. Yeah, all right, so we've seen that, we've seen jump 50. All right, so I was waiting for this, actually, the buy on jump 50, so I can anticipate a pullback, then I can enter that buy. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those that I have to enter on jump 50. Then of course I needed this, but it did not reach where I wanted it to reach, so I missed on entering it, jump 25, but we already knew that that sale was coming through on jump 25. So these are synthetic index trades that we trade every day, Monday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30. So if you want to be part of this, make sure you click that bell button as you subscribe. You click the bell button to activate all notifications so that you don't miss when I go live Monday to Friday every day. All right, of course I had already gone in with this kind of sell, but it was short-lived, so I moved out of that. I made some small money here, and then it took me out in profits. Yeah, now I think I was still in gold, so we entered gold. We are in for the buy already. We are in profits. So if you missed the morning analysis, then you know that you have that analysis. You can go back to the channel and look for episode 216, which was today's episode for the synthetic indices. Otherwise, I hope you had a great time. For BTC, we will be back here on Tuesday to analyze more and see what has transpired from what we've already analyzed, what we've just analyzed today, and then we can add on to that on Tuesday. Otherwise, I want to wish you guys a good day, happy trading, and of course I want to wish you a good weekend until Monday. See you guys, bye bye.